What did it actually take in 1954 for a single passenger train to carry hundreds of people safely across the United States? Behind every departure stood roughly 200 passengers, 30 crew members, a 6-hour yard countdown, and a web of logistics most riders never saw. Subscribe and stay with us, because the system holding it all together was far more extraordinary than the journey itself. 6 hours before departure, the rail yard operates with a precision few ever see. The process begins at the wash rack, a concrete tunnel where high-pressure hoses and spinning brushes attack every inch of each car. The rinse tunnel strips away the residue of the last journey, while the wash foreman checks detergent levels, brush speeds, and rinse times. Only after a final inspection for streaks does he initial the drying box, clearing the consistency for the next phase. Inside, cleaning crews move quickly. Vacuums run over wool carpets, dust cloths reach into luggage racks, and Pullman attendants replace linens from the depot. Restrooms and galleys are scrubbed with chemical disinfectants, water tanks flushed, and every compartment checked for lost items. The Pullman service checklist demands a stamped cleaning card for every car, signed by both the cleaning lead and a supervisor, no exceptions. As the last mop is stowed, mechanics take over. They crouch beneath each car using pyrometers to check wheel bearings for abnormal heat. Air hoses connect to the brake pipe, which is charged to exactly 90 psi, the EMD brake test standard. The chief mechanic walks the length of the train, listening for leaks and watching gauges. Only when every bearing passes and every car holds pressure does he sign the inspection card, marking the train ready. A slow assembly run through the yard follows, confirming that couplers, brakes, and electrical lines work as one. The consist becomes a single, integrated machine, prepared for the next layer of coordination. On the platform, the real choreography begins, not with engines or steel, but with paper. The ticket agent stands behind a glass window, sorting through a stack of envelopes, each one stamped with a train name, car number, and a departure time that leaves no room for error. Every envelope holds a passenger's ticket and a numbered baggage claim tag, creating a one-to-one link between traveler and luggage. These numbers are not just for convenience, they form the backbone of the station's control system. The agent checks the printed schedule from the official guide, cross-references the manifest, and pencils a check mark next to each name as tickets are handed out. Baggage clerks work in tandem, matching every suitcase and trunk to its corresponding tag. As each piece is loaded onto handcarts and rolled toward the waiting train, the clerks call out numbers, confirming that every bag is accounted for. If a passenger's tag reads 247, the clerk finds the matching slip on the manifest and assigns it to a specific baggage compartment, ensuring that nothing is misplaced between Chicago and Los Angeles. The process is repeated for hundreds of bags, each one tracked by its own paper trail. The boarding window is printed right on the ticket envelope. Passengers must be on the platform within 30 minutes of departure. Miss that window, and the train leaves without you. The agent's final checklist ties every ticket to a seat, every tag to a car, and every passenger to the freshly cleaned consist now waiting under the station's arched canopy. Only when this web of paperwork is complete does operational control pass to the dispatcher, who stands ready to release the train into the network beyond. Step inside a freshly prepared chair car, and the first impression is quiet order. Rows of high-backed seats, upholstered in wool or mohair, line up beneath broad windows. Each seat glides back with a gentle push, the mechanism hidden below, steel pivots, spring-loaded hinges, and a lock that clicks solidly into place. At night, these same seats transform. A Pullman porter moves with practiced efficiency, folding armrests away, releasing latches, and swinging down a berth from above. The entire action is nearly silent, the bed's weight balanced by a counterspring. Fresh linens, crisp and cool, are tucked in with hospital corners. A reading lamp glows over the pillow. For a traveler, it feels effortless. In the roomette, the ritual is more private. The porter knocks softly, then steps in to convert the day's compact lounge into a sleeping compartment. He draws the curtain, unlocks the wall panel, and lowers the berth in one smooth motion. The design is precise. The bed folds out just above the fold-away wash basin, leaving enough space for a suitcase beneath. Every element is measured and matched to the car's blueprint. A Pullman interior diagram from 1954 shows the berth's pivot point exactly 22 inches from the floor. The dome car, perched near the rear, offers a different kind of transformation. Stairs lead up to a glass enclosure 13 feet 4 inches above the rails. Passengers settle into swivel chairs surrounded by curved panels of safety-tempered glass. The view stretches for miles, interrupted only by the occasional glint of a signal tower or the shadow of a passing bridge. The dome's structure is more than scenery. It is a feat of engineering, tested for strength and clearance on every route. Attendants circulate quietly, answering questions and posting safety notices before tunnels. For those inside, it feels like floating above the landscape. Yet every detail, from seat to dome, has been engineered, checked, and maintained by hands and systems most travelers never see. Behind every crisp sheet and plated meal, a paper trail stretches from the commissary dock to the linen depot, binding comfort to arithmetic. In the basement of the terminal, the linen matron consults her ledger. Each Pullman car receives a ticket listing the exact count of sheets, pillowcases, and towels. No extras, no rounding up. The matron initials each line, then hands the packet to porters, who check each set against the car's berth count. At journey's end, the ticket must reconcile, or the missing pieces are tallied for billing. Down the corridor, the dining car stands open, its galley a narrow corridor lined with locked cabinets and a walk-in refrigerator. The chef arrives with a manifest in hand, 250 entrees, 120 pounds of produce, 40 gallons of milk. Each item is weighed and checked before it enters the cold storage, where temperature logs are clipped to the door. The chef signs the load list, knowing that every steak, potato, and head of lettuce must last until the next provisioning stop. There's no second chance once the train is rolling. Galley staff squeeze between the pantry shelves, fitting crates of eggs and sacks of flour into spaces measured by the inch. The menu is set days in advance, but the real constraint is inventory math. A miscount or a spoiled case of fruit means 100 passengers go without. The linen matron's ticket and the chef's manifest are more than paperwork. They are the silent contracts that keep beds made and plates full, even as the timetable tightens and the margin for error shrinks. In 1954, the safety of every passenger train rested on the quiet vigilance of maintenance of way crews and bridge inspectors. Each week, a motorized track car ran ahead of the schedule, its inspector measuring the rail gauge precisely 4 feet 8.5 inches, checking for sunken ties and logging every reading against the maintenance register. Even a slight deviation could put hundreds at risk. The inspector's notebook filled with numbers, gauge, rail wear, ballast depth, each one a safeguard written in pencil and habit. Dome cars, with their glass tops rising 13 feet 4 inches above the rails, demanded even stricter discipline. Before a dome could roll, bridge and tunnel clearances were checked, charts updated to the inch, and every structure logged by milepost and height. One overlooked beam could mean disaster or a forced detour. The comfort of panoramic views and smooth travel was built on this invisible system: routine, records, and the steady hands of those who kept disaster away. The train glides through the evening, its schedule holding steady even as daylight fades. Behind the scenes, a new crew has taken their posts, fresh hands at the throttle, a new conductor with the latest train orders, porters quietly checking linens and supplies, relief crews step aboard at the designated change point, their arrival timed to the minute by dispatchers who have tracked the train's progress across hundreds of miles. Each transition is seamless, the paperwork signed, the handoff complete before the train ever slows. Track inspectors' earlier notes have cleared the way, every gauge and clearance verified, every bridge and signal checked and logged. Even as the timetable tightens, the system absorbs small delays, a slow signal, a wait for a passing freight, without losing its rhythm. The high-speed segment that follows makes up lost minutes, the train accelerating to posted limits, every block signal coordinated by the central office. For the traveler looking out into the dusk, the journey feels uninterrupted and calm. But beneath that quiet, a web of procedures and personnel has done its work. Layers of redundancy, from crew rotations to maintenance logs, ensure that the train arrives on time, its passengers unaware of the complexity that kept them moving safely across the continent. Today, the illusion of effortless travel often hides the extraordinary systems beneath our journeys. Modern networks still rely on the same invisible choreography, with people, machines, and rules in constant motion. Every smooth arrival is built on unseen labor and precision. How much of that hidden order do we notice now? If you value stories like this, subscribe for more.